Good morning, guys. If I look tired, it's because I am. It is officially, hopefully you can see that, 4 o'clock. And I thought I'd take you guys on a typical morning routine for me. It's not typical at all, but I'm going to take you guys along and tell you why I do it. So let's get to the video. Alright, so we're going to switch over to the phone because the camera is battery's low, and hopefully we can get that ready for the rest of the video. But we're still going to go and take you to the rest of the day. And I know before I begin the day, you guys are asking the question, why in the world does this guy wake up at 4:30 in the morning? And I'll go through different reasons, but the first reason is that I believe in this concept called beat the sun to work. And it's the idea that I just want to be as productive as I can before the sun comes up, before people are typically waking up to start their day. And this includes things that are school related and things that are not school related. So getting my exercise in, not school related. Reading a book that's not medical, not school related. But also doing practice questions, reading text, whatever I need to do for school, to also get some of that done in the first 2.5 to 3.5 hours. And the whole reason I do it is because I hate being on somebody else's schedule. And as a med student, as a pre-med, wherever you are, that's bound to happen. But I want to have as much control of my life as possible. So I wake up early, get stuff that's important to me done. By the time I get out, not only am I productive or I feel productive, I can now comfortably say, okay, now I'm okay with doing an 8 to 4 in a clinical site versus saying, oh man, I have so much left to do. I feel great that I made a decision to get stuff done on my terms first. So the first thing that I do every single day that I've already mentioned is first I grab a huge cup of water, so check. And I grab my iPad to read for about 20 to 30 minutes. And if you guys are interested, there is an app called Overdrive. Let me see if I can show you. Where you can, as long as you have a library card at your local library, you can download books for free, and you do it for like 21 days at a time. So I usually always click books that seem interesting to me, and when they're available, they get downloaded to my iPad and then I can read them. So today's book is The $100 Startup. It is a finance book, and I love to read about things that I don't know much about. So in medical and pre-meds, we just don't get that much exposure to finance and business. So today's book is about that. And so I'm going to read for 20 to 30 minutes, and then I will check back with you guys soon. Bye. All right, so reading is done for the day. Did about 40 to 50 pages. Pretty fast reader because I do this every single day now. So next thing I do in the morning is I take a shower, and then I do some meditation prayer. Before I get to that, the next question that most people ask me is, don't you just get tired from waking up at 4:30 and or 4 o'clock? And the answer is usually, yeah, I do, just like anybody else. But I combat this by two ways. Because I get more work done at the start of my day when I come home from lecture or from my rotations, the time that we're typically all tired anyways, that afternoon 2 to 3 o'clock time frame, I just usually take a 20-minute to an hour nap. And that just adds an hour of sleep. And usually I feel refreshed because I'll have some coffee before my nap, and then when I wake up, the coffee is hitting my system, and I'm good to go. And so that's usually my answer to that, is that yes, I'm tired. It's hard to get out of bed, but once I do, like as you can see, I'm pretty energized. And then when I feel my energy like kind of taking in the middle of the day, take a nap and start all over again. So I'm going to go take my shower. I'm not going to take you guys with me, and I'll see you guys soon. All right, so the shower's done, and I'm about to kind of do my morning prayer meditation. But the one thing I forgot to mention is that when I'm kind of getting ready for the day, just brush my teeth, doing whatnot, I usually will listen to a podcast on one of my Bluetooth speakers in the restroom. And like everything I do it faster. So I use an app that kind of lets me double my speed on my listening. And so I can usually listen to like 1 or 2 podcast episodes, usually like short ones of like 10 to 20 minutes. And the time it takes me to like shower and to get ready. And it's a great way, again, to just continue to make my morning something that I value, information that I really care about, whether that's like news or like how to be more productive, things that I kind of share with you guys on the TheMDJourney.com is often what I learned through the books and through the podcasts that I listen to. So that's kind of part of the morning routine. Now let's get to meditation prayer. All right, morning meditation prayer is done. I usually do it just because at these early hours of the day, it's the best way for me to kind of calm things down before things start to get hectic. In a second, I'm about to kind of start doing my first important task of the day. And I just want to kind of keep my head clean and clear before I do it. The next question before we kind of get to my next activity that people always love to ask about waking up so early is, what time do you go to bed? And for me, usually the answer is anywhere from like 10:30, 10:30, and that gives me a solid 5 to 6 hours depending on what time I wake up, plus I have my hour nap in the afternoon. I usually run pretty well on that amount of sleep because that's just how I do. But some of you guys, if you choose to wake up early after this video, may require some extra hours. Just play with your schedule and see whatever works best. But yeah, go to bed at 10 o'clock, 10:30 every single night. You usually wake up at 4, 4:30, 5 o'clock at the latest. But the next thing that we like to do in the morning, we being me, is like to go through our schedule for the rest of the day. So I'm going to kind of show you a quick rundown how I do this, but I'll make another video all together on kind of how I stay productive and plan my day out. But let's get to it. All right, so now is time for me to actually get to work. And the first thing that I do before I get to work is I kind of plan my day. Usually I do this the night before because I was tired yesterday. I gave my time to do it this morning. And the way I do it is I usually always have a blank piece of paper on my desk throughout the week, and I just fold it as the week goes along. But on one side of the paper at the start of the day or the night before, I write everything that I need to do in no specific order, no priority. And then I usually will either number them based off the priority once I realize everything I have to do, or on the other side, I'll go ahead and list them in the order that I want to, and then I'll add them to my Google Calendar. That way it's on my phone, and I'll take the paper with me, and that way I can see it the rest of the day. Also on the other side, I'll show you guys if I have time later, is that as I start finishing things on this side, instead of just crossing them out, I physically write them on the other side because that just helps me get a visual of how much I'm getting done. Crossing things out is nice, but adding it to what I like to call your list of done, like these are all the things I've done today, seems more motivating to continue to be productive the rest of the day. So I'm gonna go ahead and spend some time creating my to-do list for the day, adding it to my calendar, and then getting started with my work. So. All right, so it is officially, hopefully you guys can see that, 6:30. I don't know if that's backwards on the phone, but from the last 2.5 hours that I've been up, I have read for 30 minutes, showered, meditated, prayed, and then I basically was able to read a lecture that I'm gonna have on Thursday, as well as do 100 flashcards. So that's in 2.5 hours. About to have my first morning coffee, and then I'm gonna get back to work. But just want to show you the power of what can happen if you just wake up and just get to work. Normally around this time is probably around the 6:30 time is when I'm getting dressed and heading out the door for my rotation, but today is a little bit different because the first part of my rotation was canceled for the first part of this week. So I have a couple of extra hours. I'm going to use that to my advantage to get some more work done. But yeah, let's make the coffee first. All right, time to make coffee. I use something called an AeroPress. It's like an individual coffee maker press, similar to like a French press for any of you guys know. Just tastes a lot better than the instant coffee I was using for the first 2 years of med school. And my coffee of choice today, we're going to do a dark Italian espresso. Has like a chocolatey taste, so kind of like a dessert in the morning. But we're gonna make this and then we're gonna get back to work. All right, so coffee's done. I'm about to sip on this, and since I have about another hour and a half until I have to get ready and go into the hospital, I'm going to use this extra time, as I often do throughout the week, to do what I do for the blog, write the blog posts, make the videos. And since today we're going to go ahead and edit the videos that come out this Wednesday. All right, so video editing for the morning is at least done now. It's 8 o'clock. That means I have to go ahead and get ready. It's about a 20-minute drive to the hospital. I'm gonna try to get there by 9 o'clock. So let's get ready. All right, so all changed, ready to go. I'm gonna head out. And before I headed out, I did two things: packed my backpack, packed my gym bag. So usually I go to the gym in the morning, but because I wanted to get some more work done today, I'm gonna do it after my rotation. And this is another example, kind of keeping up with the theme of the morning, is I wanna go to the gym before I come back home. So I pack my stuff, pack my change of clothes, because my goal, if I can, by the time I get back home, is to not have anything left on my to-do list. And that's usually the opposite, right? You're planning your day and you're trying to think of what you have to do when you finally get back home. I'm trying to get away from that mindset. Obviously, there are days where your list is too big or things come up in the middle of the day that you just have to take care of. But if I can get as much done, including my fitness, schoolwork, blog work, all that is done and taken care of, I have the rest of the day to myself, and looks like that's what today's gonna look like. So hopefully, my schedule doesn't pick up, but I am going to head out, and it's about a 20-minute drive from me. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, comment below, let me know what you learned. Give a like to this video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Come on now, join the community. I'm really happy for all of you guys that have done so far. But thank you guys so much for watching. As always, I'll see you guys in the next video next week. Take care, guys.